is the road to work. Well, today is the 40th day. Today is June 6th, 2013. Now that doesn't make much of a hill of beans to me, but my buddy Mike commented the other day that today is a 666 day. That is June the 6th, 2013, and I'll let you do the math. You know, I don't really care about numerology and all that, but these elite shites sure as hell do. They love their little dates and games and all of that. So be vigilant, be prayerful. Today may prove to be a big day yet. They had a terrible storm roll through my neighborhood last night. Knocked out power for a while. Few areas. I didn't check the weather. I don't know if there's been any more tornadoes ripping apart neighborhoods. When I finally got up, I didn't have time to be checking, the Weather Channel or anything. So I don't know anything. If this storm was nearly as bad as it sounded early this morning, all kinds of chaos must have ensued at some point. At any rate, I took it as an ill omen. But whatever I may say, whatever doom and gloom may be interpreted from my words, understand, Yahuwah Elohim, He is absolutely in charge of everything all the time. Make no mistake. That is awful. That is just awful, man. They tore this street up, and then they never really put it back together. They just tore out a bunch of streets and threw in a bunch of gravel, and now it's all become just chuckles. All right. I want to be clear about something. I guess I'm going to recap how I came to this 40-day conclusion. More than a couple months ago, it seems, I guess a week into the first month. Let me start over. I calculate the months according to the biblical calendar, and this is going to start off a whole nother debate about 2, 3, 4, 5 different calendars. I just follow the Torah. Some people would say, a lot of Jews will tell you that the year starts in the autumn. That Rosh Hashanah is sometime in the fall, sometime between September and October. And there's another group who says that the beginning of months is in the spring, sometime in April. And I concur with the latter just simply because I read my Bible. I see what it says in Exodus when it says right about the time of the first Passover. Elohim tells Moshe, when the barley turns green, that will be the beginning of months for you. Count the new moon when the barley turns green. That is the beginning of months for you. That is the first of the year. Rosh Hashanah begins in the spring. Anyway, this is going to take forever. Using that methodology, everything else can be easily calculated. Now, I woke up in the first month one morning, and the word of Elohim came to me and said, Genesis chapter 8. Nothing more specific than that. Just Genesis chapter 8. I said, alright, okay. I got up. Before my feet ever touched the ground, I just grabbed my scripture, because it's right there at the bedstand. I read it all the time. I grabbed it. I looked at Genesis chapter 8, and I didn't get it at first. I didn't get it. So I got up and washed, and then came back into the bedroom, and I asked my wife, read Genesis chapter 8. Tell me what you come up with. Later on, I saw my brother, and I told him, read Genesis chapter 8. And it wasn't until later in the day I actually started back in Genesis chapter 7, where it begins detailing the events of the flood. It said that the flood began on the 17th day of the second month. We had not yet reached the second month. And so I began to think, well, maybe he's trying to tell me something about the dates. He's trying to tell me something about the flood and about things, and things worked out to where I realized he was preparing not only me, but anybody who will listen to the fact that there's a storm of chaos coming on. When he talks about the flood and the waters, usually the waters translate prophetically into people. So I knew that what he was trying to tell me in his way was that he was bringing on a flood of man-caused chaos. So, and you can just look at it from that filter and understand that the trouble in the markets is a planned thing. These financial institutions are all being washed away by the events of what's going on, and that the weather being as, and the elements being as chaotic as they are, this is also man-caused. This isn't just I'm not talking about global warming. I'm not talking about CO2 levels. I'm talking about the governments of the world using weather as a weapon. This is man-caused global chaos. And you can pretty much apply it to everything else that's going wrong from some man-caused element. The men are destroying the earth and trying to remake it in their own image. And so, and now we've reached the 40th day, but I don't think for a second that, oh yay, well it rained and poured for 40 daisies, right? Yeah, rained and poured for 40 daisies, all that. No, that's just the beginning, people. We've only made it 40 days through a 190-day count. Now we have to go through another 150 days of sustained chaos, of as the Bible puts it, the waters on the earth became very strong upon the earth. And so we're witnessing how, we'll start witnessing the riots globally now. I mean, we'll start seeing things of biblical proportions at this point. We haven't already, but it's, you know, the waters will become much stronger. Waters translating prophetically to men. They will become very strong on the earth. So, you know, do we enter into anarchy? And I can't believe that, you know, I mean, we run around in these little bubble mobiles and we don't pay attention to what's going on around us. But, you know, whatever. You know, we still seem to be so unaffected. The clean and the unclean alike in this country just seem to be so unaffected. But, you know, I look at the numbers. I know that everybody is, you know, depleting their savings, trying to keep up with the inflation, which the market analysts say is only at 1.7%, which is a bunch of Bolshevism. It's garbage. I know better. I mean, I don't talk. I know everybody does, just like I do at night. They talk to their spouses, and their spouses are stressed about the fact that we're not saving money anymore. We're depleting our savings in order to keep up with the cost of living. And nobody's getting any raises, and nobody's getting any better jobs. They've already pulled the plug on the world's reserve fiat. They've already pulled the plug on it. They did this last year, long ago. So, I mean, when I hear market analysts say, yeah, it's going to happen any minute. Yeah, it may be right now. It may very well be right now. You know, and I'm not saying this to scare people or be some kind of fear monger. I know reality. I live in the real world, while everybody else is running around in their toddler mobiles. I mean, I look at this and I just see people rolling around on tricycles. You know, nothing's changed. We're all stuck in this arrested development. All I see are a bunch of toddlers running around going, me, mine, now. And having hissy fits when they don't get their way. It's all I see. It's all I see. It's all I see. And I see a bunch of terrible 2-year-olds running around. They have no idea, most of them, what's going on and what's happening to them. They're completely oblivious. They're completely oblivious to what's being done to them. I think as long as they got a few fiat bills in their pocket and they can go ahead and get their dry cleaning done, that this will just continue on forever. So nothing happened today, and the forecast says that nothing will happen tomorrow. Meanwhile, just a couple miles away, a tornado came through somebody's neighborhood and took Molly and Jimmy and Dad. The mom's left bereft. So what, right? I mean, so what? That's not my problem. You know, it's just like when I said to my dad, you know, hey, look, you know, they're putting fetal stem cells in your Pepsi, Pop. And his answer to me, at least it's not my kids. Yeah, what a disgusting, dehumanizing thing to say. It's exactly the thing I'm talking about. We can't see past the end of our nose. It's not my kids. Yes, it is your kids. If you can't care about your neighbor, you don't care about nothing but yourself. You know, it's not just my dad. It's a bunch of people. I tell people every day, hey, you know what? There's a baby in that. You like babies? Babies make it taste better. You like Pepsi, huh? They make. Hey, did you know that it's a common practice? Coca-Cola's doing it too. You know, it's just like Coca-Cola. You know, they never stop putting the Coke in it. Oh, come on. That's a wives' tale. That's a conspiracy theory. It's written on the label. Coca-Cola. Whatever. But whatever. Yeah, I'm the conspiracy theorist. I live in reality. I don't trust the pathological liars. I don't trust them. So people stop bringing the Pepsi in my house, right? People stop bringing the Pepsi in my house. And this is their reasoning. I just don't like to see you get upset. I'm just trying to save, to do my part to help you save your own soul, if you still have one. What is America? America is a jellyfish, a bloated, disgusting jellyfish. Soulless, mindless, spineless jellyfish. I'm not talking about everybody. I'm talking about what this country's become. Knowing these things, knowing what I know, maybe we are getting what's coming to us, because everybody seems to be pretty oblivious to it. Everybody seems to be pretty freaking oblivious to it. Whatever. Hey, love you. So, this has been the 40th day. Now we have another 150 days. We'll just see what happens. Maybe I'm full of shit. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm just some punk who likes to spook people. I will tell you that in some ways it's worse than I thought. In other ways, it's not nearly as bad as I predicted. Then again, and I'm not the one prognosticating. I'm just counting. I'm watching. I am being a witness. In Isaiah it says, "You are my witness, and you are my servant, whom I have chosen, so that you know and believe me that I am He." That you know and that you believe and that you understand that I am He. That's what So I will continue being a witness